So today we're diving into something pretty radical. It's a fundamental shift in how we build the digital systems that run our world. We're talking about moving away from just hoping they work to being able to mathematically prove it.
I mean, just think about that for a second. In a world that runs on code, we're talking everything from your bank account to your healthcare. What would it mean to have an actual mathematical guarantee, absolute proof, that a system behaves exactly the way it's supposed to?
To really get why that's so incredibly important, we first have to talk about a huge problem that's happening right under our noses. It's something the source material calls the silent failure.
Here's the deal. Our most critical systems are basically becoming black boxes. Data pipelines just drift. Outputs can't even be reproduced consistently. And when something inevitably goes wrong, well, we send in the auditors to try and piece together the wreckage after the damage is done. It's kind of like trying to figure out the rules of a football game by watching a blurry, edited replay hours later. It just doesn't work.
And this quote just hits the nail on the head. Our entire security model of detect and respond is fundamentally flawed because it's always too late. Getting an alert that your system failed doesn't prevent the failure. It just tells you that you're already in trouble.
Okay, so if just detecting a problem after the fact isn't good enough, what's the alternative? Well, this brings us to a completely new way of thinking about control: enforcement at runtime.
And this right here is the big idea: Deterministic Runtime Enforcement, or D.R.E. for short. Now, this isn't just another monitoring tool. The source material calls it a new control primitive, and that means it's a fundamental building block, a whole new way to build systems. Instead of watching from the sidelines, D.R.E. embeds the rules directly into the system's execution, guaranteeing the right behavior before an action is even completed.
You know, just pause and think about that for a moment. It's so simple, but it's profound. Any policy you write beforehand, well, it can be bypassed. Any log you check afterwards is just a claim about what happened. The only time you can actually control a system is during runtime, that exact moment when a decision is being made or data is being transformed. And that's where D.R.E. does its work.
So how does this magic actually happen? It's a beautifully simple three-step dance. First, you declare a rule that the system must always follow. This is called an invariant, a condition that has to be true no matter what. Second, you enforce that rule right there in the middle of execution, stopping anything that breaks it dead in its tracks. And third, you produce a cryptographic receipt, a tamper-proof piece of evidence that proves the rule was enforced. This analogy from the source material explains the difference perfectly. Traditional monitoring, that's the commentator up in the broadcast booth, describing the foul after it's already happened. D.R.E., on the other hand, is the referee right there on the field, blowing the whistle and stopping the play before the illegal action can be completed. See the difference? One gives you alerts and probabilities, the other gives you absolute proof and guarantee.
Okay, so D.R.E. is an incredibly powerful principle. It sounds great in theory, right? But how do you actually apply it in the real world? Well, this is where we get to move from the abstract concept to the actual product that was built to deliver it. Because you know what? This isn't just a theory anymore. Meet Amethyst Deterministic. They're a UK company, and they've built something called Pilgrim, which is a deterministic verification engine. This is it. This is the tangible, real-world manifestation of D.R.E., and it's designed to bring this new level of proof out of the lab and into our lives.
And here's what's so clever about their approach. Pilgrim isn't designed to make you rip and replace all your existing infrastructure. Nobody wants to do that. Instead, it acts as an assurance layer that wraps around your current systems, adding this incredible layer of deterministic proof without forcing you to start from scratch. And they're making this super practical with these industry-specific modules they call guards. So for example, CareGuard can mathematically prove that patient data was accessed correctly during a medical trial. Or LedgerGuard can guarantee, without a shadow of a doubt, that a financial transaction followed every single compliance rule. Each guard basically takes the core Pilgrim engine and aims it at a specific high-stakes problem. It makes D.R.E. accessible where it matters most.
So what does all of this add up to? What's the big picture here? Well, the ambition isn't just to sell another piece of security software. It's to create an entirely new market, a market built on the infrastructure of provable trust. All right, now take a look at this number on the screen, 0. What in the world do you think that represents? It's a pretty surprising figure for a company that we've just said has a finished product. That number, that's their revenue to date. 0. And believe it or not, this was a deliberate choice. According to their business plan, Amethyst focused all their energy on perfecting the core technology first before they ever went out looking for customers. That is a disciplined product-first strategy that, frankly, shows an incredible amount of confidence in what they've built.
And all of this leaves us with one final big thought. As more and more of our world becomes automated, run by complex code we can't possibly inspect by hand, is a simple promise of "trust me, it works" going to be good enough anymore? Or are we as a society going to start demanding mechanical, verifiable proof? That is the future that Amethyst is betting on.